May 11th, 2026, MSD of Wayne Township Board of Education regular board meeting is called to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Facilitate Markup, roll call.
Absolutely. Brandon Bowman,
Present.
Susan Graves, present. Karen Burke, present. Michael Gordon,
Here.
Ramika Graham,
Here.
and Ben Wakefield on.
Present.
I'm Sherry O'Day Marcotte, and we are all present.
Thank you. Board, you've been presented with a copy of the agenda for this evening's meeting. We have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Make a motion that we adopt the agenda as presented.
A second. Motion and a second. Any comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is approved. Thank you, Dr. Suggs. Moving on, we have an oath of office, MSD of Wayne Township Police Officer Jeremy Wilson.
Officer Wilson, if you'll join us up front, so we along the Chief of Boomerside.
Mr. Bowman, if you'll join us, please.
Absolutely.
As he's coming, Officer Wilson has been appointed by the Metropolitan School District of Wayne Township Board of Education to serve as the school police officer under the authority of Indiana Code 20-26-3 with all the powers, privileges, and immunities granted by that same code effective on the date affixed below, which is today. And this appointment shall hold valid until withdrawn by the Board of Education. And with that, to complete the process, Board President Bowman, if you'll administer the oath.
Thank you, Officer Wilson. Please raise your hand and repeat after me. I, Jeremy Wilson,
I, Jeremy Wilson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and uphold the Constitution
that I will support and uphold the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and will faithfully discharge my duty
and will faithfully discharge my duties
as a police officer with the MSD of Wayne Township,
as a police officer with the MSD of Wayne Township,
with fairness,
with fairness,
integrity,
integrity,
diligence,
diligence,
and impartiality,
and impartiality,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Signatures. I'll have you turn towards, while we're doing that, towards the audience. So if you want to do some pictures, I'm going over here in the middle. Do that. Hold on just a second. Alrighty, sorry. Are we okay? Okay. Awesome. And so welcome to Wayne.
Thank you so
We're still gonna get some signatures from you. Chief, tell us how we came to know Officer Wilson.
Well, actually, about a year ago, I had to have a medical procedure, so I missed my range and I got to join Perry Township School Police for their range day. And met Officer Wilson there and, he's been at Perry and, well. He liked how I went down. I invited him to come on.
He thought I was good in purple.
We agree, we agree. So tell us a little bit about your journey in terms of your work in law enforcement.
So, I got started in law enforcement about 4 years ago. I was actually a school teacher at Decatur Central. I was a career applications and a football coach at Decatur Central for 12 years. And then I lost an older brother to drunk driving in 2021. And it kind of pushed me back into what I really originally wanted to do when I was little, being law enforcement. So I started off with Marion County as reserve, worked there for about a year and a half, and then I got hired on with Perry Township as a school resource officer, and I was there for the last 2 years, and then now I'm here, so
Oh,
I'm excited to be here.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, welcome to Wayne.
Thank you.
Any pictures you're good?
Yes, can we, I'm trying to convince her to go up there, she'll go.
Yeah.
Here in the middle. Where are you going, chief?
Oh, I thought she wanted to get.
You wanna get-
She wants to get into
Sorry.
If it were for Jeremy, this would be a perfect picture.
And Officer Wilson, who did I bring with you tonight?
That's my wife, Courtney. She's great, shy, she likes to be in the back.
Awesome. Thank you for being here.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Congratulations. Yes.
Thank you so much, guys.
Excited to have, who won at the range between the two?
I'll always tell Chief always wins.
I do it all.
Dr. Suggs, we have some recognitions this evening.
We have a few tonight, which I'm super excited about. And the board, if the board would join me here up front, please, because we want to get an official picture. I'm so excited to be able to recognize our board. They continue to display excellence. They received an exemplary governance award from the Indiana School Boards Association, and that is because of their work, their continued professional development with the organization to be the very best board that they could be for our community. So I did not want the opportunity, to go by and unnoticed, and want to make sure our community is aware of the work of our board. And so. All of them in the picture.
If I can, I just need to step back a little bit.
Our board president hold their award. We'll put that on the wall. Oh, hold on. Let's congratulate everyone.
Double back. My side over here. I know where I'm going now, yes.
And next, one of our favorite awards here every month is our Wayne Way Volunteer Award. Great schools don't happen without great communities, and great communities don't happen without great schools. Tonight, we're recognizing our May recipient of the Wayne Way Volunteer Award, which honors volunteers who go above and beyond to support our students and schools. These are people who show up for our students, make our community stronger. Tonight, we celebrate Betsy Spencer. If you'll join me up front. Miss Spencer has been a champion for Southfield Elementary students since the very beginning of our host program. And it's a mentoring program. In fact, she didn't just join the program, she helped create it, building a partnership between Rolls-Royce and Wayne Township that has transformed opportunities for our students. Since that very first year, Betsy has mentored students consistently year after year. She's so committed that when we needed someone to step in as a substitute for our host paraprofessional, Betsy did it without hesitation. But Betsy's impact goes far beyond mentoring. She has opened doors for our students that many didn't even know existed. She organized field trips to Purdue University and regular visits to the Rolls-Royce Heritage Trust Museum. As a matter of fact, she's taking a group of students this week, Thursday, I believe, for that field trip. And that's where 50 students at a time get hands-on opportunities to explore engineering, aviation history, and the legacy of innovation right here in our very own community. She's connected Stoutfield to grants and resources that fund STEM opportunities. She recruits other mentors and volunteers, bringing people into our schools who might never have gotten involved without her encouragement. Principal Tim Wickard, who nominated Betsy, said, "If you look close enough at many of the things we offer to students, you will find that often behind the scenes, Betsy was involved in some way." Betsy is always thinking about Stoutfield and its students and staff, always trying to bring innovative programs. We are so grateful for her constant desire to serve, to connect, and to make things better for students. Please join me in celebrating Betsy Spencer for her vision, her generosity, and her unwavering commitment to opening doors for our students. Betsy, we want you to proudly display our Wayne Way Volunteer Award that commemorates all that you do for our community. All right, Ms. Spencer, tell us what keeps you coming back.
I love the dedication that you have, the opportunities that the students have to be able to choose where and what they want to do, either vocational or through the college, university, to be able to thrive and grow. And they are going to be our leaders tomorrow. And we have the opportunity to do that, to prepare them for that opportunity. And in the host program, every September, the four students that I work with, as well as the other, 1,000 that each week volunteers that you have, it's just amazing. You think at the beginning, it's going to be a difficult journey, but by December, the light bulbs begin to come on, and they are so excited that they can be able to read, be able to sound out the word, be able to write a short paragraph. And I had my four last Wednesday, I'm sorry. And they could read a paragraph and they could write a paragraph. And it just made my heart bubble. Because God bless you all here who are dedicated to ensuring that they have the subject to be able to graduate and to be able to go on and choose. They are our leaders tomorrow, and we need to be dedicated to that. Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
And I don't do this alone, so there are
Please.
other people who are involved. Like there's 40 volunteers coming on Thursday for our 50 students. And we're so excited because we have a great program on Thursday for them. And I'm hoping they're excited also.
They are. Betsy can convince anybody. What she wants. I know
They're
that.
invited to come and see them in action.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. We have our Indiana Career and Technical Education Awards for Excellence. Dr. Walters, do you want to invite up our guests?
Yeah, happily. And Dr. Suggs, as you know, in the spring, May, our students get very busy. So our first award recipient is not able to be here, but Mr. Pratt and Mrs. Bridget, Ms. Fuller could come up and accept it on Dr. Cap and tell us a little bit about it.
Tell us all about it.
So, each year, the Indiana ACT sponsors the Career Technical Awards for Excellence, and we're allowed to nominate one student in the state, or from one student from our school who was selected by the state. So I think about 6 kids were selected to receive this honor this year. Unfortunately, Miley, in the state of Indiana. Miley's Early College Pharmacy Tech student, so she'll graduate with her associate degree. She's also a star band student in last performance of her high school career tonight. So understandably, she chose that experience, but she's a great kid, and we told her that we'd be here tonight, bring that award back to her and honor her tomorrow.
If I might ask, why was Miley Gomez Trejo picked as the student for our representative?
So we allow teachers first to select students who set out the criteria. And then we have a committee that will look through with names arrayed, so we're looking at her achievements. So she's been a top 30 student at Penn Davis. She's been an ambassador for the program, student leader, achievements, associate degree in high school. She's just been an outstanding student all around. And it really was a no-brainer for the state for sure. It was hard for us to pick which one of our students we were gonna send in, but certainly a no-brainer that she was selected by the state.
That's amazing. Let's salute her even though she's not here with us. Thank you. Next, the DECA State Conference, Dr. Walker.
Yeah, I know Mrs. Jones and Mrs. Clark could be here, so for our executive students, just come up.
Okay. All right. Who do we have? I have several here.
Melina.
You're mowing. Yes, you are. Look at that. And this young man, I see almost weekly because he's in so many activities. If he's not singing and dancing, then he's playing volleyball or we have several students that we are making. Yes. Nathan Villa, third place business law and ethics and international qualifier for a DECA state conference. That's amazing. And Melina, who is, what is your position with DECA?
So I'm Region 5 president.
She's the president. So elected DECA Region 5 president and international qualifier. We're so proud of the both of you. Melinda, did you bring anyone with you tonight?
Yeah, it's my dad.
My dad. Thanks for coming. And just you. Tell us about DECA. What is it? What's it all about?
It's all about business. So there's a large variety of competitions that students can choose depending on what they're interested in. So there's marketing, there's law, there's accounting, there's fashion, automotive. The possibilities are endless, right? So as students, you choose what you're most interested in and you compete in it. You compete in districts, and then if you pass there, you go to state. And then the big goal is to go to national. So we had a couple of students go to nationals. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. It was a lot of fun,
And Melina, you're a junior?
Yeah, I'm a junior.
Awesome. Nathan is a senior. Tell us what your plans are.
After school, I'm headed to Columbia University to study political science.
Big deal, big deal. We want to get here from to the center. Take a picture. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Last instructor side of the Skills USA. So Camden and Company could come on up.
You were coming in tonight and some of us could see you out the window. We're like, who are the redcoats? Come on down, come on down. Yeah. Want you to tell us about the program. You can go on the other side because we're gonna take a picture too. Okay. Come on down. Tell us, oh, come on down. Sarah, here, tell us about the program.
Skills USA is an organization, it's a national organization in which students can compete in their trade area as well as professional categories like prepared speech, things like that. They also get the opportunity to become state leaders and national leaders. This year we have a person that's on the state. She represents Area 31 in Davis at the state level. And we have a candidate for a national level representative too. And they get to go to Capitol Hill and talk to politicians about the importance of CTE.
Wow.
So this is our second ever candidate for the national this year. So
That's
pretty proud of
great.
that.
That you should be. Anything else you want to add?
I think we're taking, what, 9 to
Eight.
national,
Nine.
8? Wow, to nationals this year,
Yeah.
so it should be a good time down in Atlanta.
Yep. When does that happen? Summer?
First week of
June. Okay, great.
We're missing the last week of school.
Yeah, the first week of June. Still working.
Yeah.
Just in Atlanta.
Yeah,
Wait,
absolutely.
Much hotter.
that's awesome. How many students do you have involved?
This year, 130, I think it was this year, so.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, students, we want to know your name, the year you are in school, and if you're a senior, what's happening next for you?
My name is Onofempo Oyere. I'm a junior.
Awesome. Have you thought about plans?
Yes, I was gonna, I'm thinking about going to
Yeah.
after school studying neuroscience on pre-med.
Nice, nice. A year from now, I'm gonna ask you about that. All right, yeah.
My name is Alton Rodriguez. I'm a senior in high school and I'm planning to go to Dallas or Houston, Texas, UTI, and continue work collision repair.
Nice. Awesome, awesome, great.
My name is Jaylene Flores. I'm a junior in high school. After high school, I plan to study software engineering in college. Really hard to reach.
Yeah, great, big plans, big goals, I love that. Well, thank you for coming tonight. Who came with you tonight? Anyone? Parents, friends? Mom's here, anyone else?
I brought my dad with me.
Oh, Dad is, okay. Awesome, right, I got confused, sorry, Dad. You raised your hand the first time? No? That's fine. All right, well, we're ready for our photo. I'm gonna give your awards, to your teachers. Okay. Can you fill them all in? Let's congratulate them. And we had an amazing board meeting, riveting agenda for the rest of the evening. But if you would like to spend some time with your family, I know it's dinner time, you are welcome to leave.
Thank you, Dr. Sutton.
Absolutely.
Do we have anyone sign up for public comment this evening?
We have no public comments anymore.
All right, moving on.
Wait till we're wearing these.
Board have copies of minutes from previous meetings. We have a motion to approve the minutes as presented. Motion to approve the April 2026 meeting, board meeting minutes.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comment or discussion? Hearing none.
Note of correction, it's April 13th, right? Okay, yeah, I see them. Sorry, I got it now. Thank you. Very good.
Any additional comment? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes are approved. Thank you, board. Moving on to the financial report, Dr. Samuel.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the board, included in your documents for tonight's meeting, you'll find the claims docket. Total of $30,993,079.11 for your review. A few items to note for this month, as you can see, we have returned to our typical 2 payrolls being included from the Ed Ops and Referendum Fund. So that is what accounts for the decrease month over month in those funds. Beyond that, I welcome any questions that you have and respectfully ask for approval of the financial report as presented.
I move for approval of our financial report as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comment or discussion regarding the claims document? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Dr. Samuel. The financial report is approved. Moving on to new business and human resources, Mr. Fessler.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the board, we received in board docs, human resources reports A1, A2, A3, and addendums A1 and A2 for your review. I'd like to answer any questions you may have and respectfully ask for approval Human Resources Reports A1, A2, A3, and addendums A1 and A2.
I move for approval of our human resources reports as presented. Second.
We have a motion and a second regarding the human resources reports. Any comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Mr. Fessler. The human resources reports are approved.
Thank you, Mr. President, and members of the board. I'd like to invite Mr. Douglas Bradburn to join Dr. Suggs in the front of the room, please. Douglas Bradburn began his education career in 1994, teaching science at Fulton Junior High School. In 1997, Mr. Bradburn moved to Ben Davis High School, where he taught chemistry and biology. He began working in Perry Meridian High School in 2004, where he taught chemistry and physics and was also the head varsity football coach. In 2012, he started working at Morrison Academy in Taiwan, where he served as a professional development coach, discipline dean, and high school principal until 2023. And since 2023, Mr. Bradburn has been teaching honors science and honors biology at Lyndhurst 7th and 8th grade center. Mr. Bradburn served 4 years in the United States Navy from 1986 to 1990, where he engineered F-14 advanced electrical systems. And from 1990 to 1994, he fulfilled the role of staff sergeant in the Indiana Army National Guard. In his education career, Doug has served on the Wayne Renovation Committee, school improvement planning teams, and discipline committees. He's attended multiple leadership conferences around the world. Mr. Bradburn holds a Bachelor of Science degree in secondary education from Ball State University, a Master of Arts degree in education psychology from Ball State, and earned his administrative license from the University of Indianapolis I-Lead program. Please welcome Mr. Douglas Bradburn as the assistant principal of Ben Davis University High School.
As I've gotten to know Mr. Bradburn, particularly this school year, because we've had the opportunity to do some professional development together, what I've come to know is that he is very thoughtful, certainly dedicated to Wayne Township. It's a full circle moment, correct?
For sure.
And an opportunity to put into practice all that he's learned since he's been away. And so we're excited about the future and the work of Ben Davis University High School with his principal here, Ms. Miller. We're so glad to see you. Who'd you bring with you tonight?
My wife Missy, and my son Cole.
Michael, I think we have some friends that came out to support. Tell that story. I think.
So Dan and I have known each other for 30+ years. My first year at Fulton Junior High, he was my para. And so we became friends in 1994 and have been in contact and friends ever since. Yeah, very good. So it's nice to be back in Wayne and with Dan, and he's been one of my biggest advocates too, and I just appreciate his.
I will say Doug made me a much better teacher. Being in his classroom every day was really, really something, and I appreciate him more than I can say.
We have some goodies for you, some reading material. Here, to get you started, if you need more, right? To get you started as part of our administrative staff. We'll take a quick picture. Awesome. And then if you have a few words for the board, this is the appropriate time to do that.
I just want to thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. It's been nice to have the opportunity to go back to Wayne. When I was at Ben Davis, we said one giant family a lot, and having been around the world a little bit, and then being able to come back to the United States and especially back to Wayne, I still see the family environment. It's nice to be back. So thank you.
Congratulations.
And the invitation goes to you as well. You're welcome to stay, but if you want to go and celebrate, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
So cool. Thank you, Dr. Suggs. Moving on, we have some donations this evening.
Yes, Mr. President, members of the board, Dr. Walters and I respectfully request your consideration of the following donation. We have $5,000 monetary donation from Cummins to MSD of Wayne Township for Science Summer Safari. We have a donation from Chick-fil-A cookie trays and tea valued at $180 to Wayne Township Preschool. We have complimentary cards for ice cream at Freddy's to Wayne Township Preschool valued at $400. We have a donation from Gil's Tacos, food, chips, salsa, queso, and tamales valued at $650 for Wayne Township Preschool. We have flowers from Gillespie Florist valued at $100 to Wayne Township Preschool. Then from Chapel Hill Lions Club, we have $125 donated used to purchase donuts at Chapelwood for teacher appreciation gifts. From Gleaners, $800 in food pantry items to Chapelwood Elementary School. From the Wayne Township Fire Department, $540 for fire detectors given to second grade students who did not have access to those at Chapelwood Elementary School. Also to Chapelwood, a donation from Kai Kai Omega for weekend power pack meals valued at $1,200. And from Ingredient, $150 for food pantry items to Chapelwood Elementary. 2 monetary donations to support our JROTC program at Ben Davis High School, one for $1,000 in Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, and one for $2,000 in the Veterans of Foreign War Post 10003. Dr. Pierce and I respectfully request approval of the donation.
I recommend approval for the donations as presented.
Second.
Outstanding. We have a motion and a second. I'll start off, comment and discussion. Is Mr. Crossland continuing Science Summer Safari, or has that been passed on to a new teacher?
That has been passed on to a new teacher, yes. Ms. Kempers has been helping lead that.
Oh, fun. Any additional comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Donations are approved. Thank you, Dr. Pierce and Dr. Walters. Moving on to field trips.
Mr. President, members of the board, just 2 field trips have been created this evening. One you heard about just earlier for our Skills USA National Competition. We respectfully request that they are able to travel to Atlanta, Georgia, coming up here June 1st through the 5th. And the other for our Ben Davis High School speech and debate team, May 22nd through the 24th, to attend Grand Catholic Nationals in Washington, D.C. Respectfully request for approval of our field trips.
I recommend approval of the field trips as presented.
We have a motion and a second. Any comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Field trips are approved. Thank you, Dr. Walters.
Thank you.
Moving on, we have a resolution authorizing administration regarding auditor certification. Dr. Samuel?
Before Dr. Samuel comes to us, I'd like to share with the board and with our community just a little bit of information to give context to why we're going to talk about this resolution. So I'd like to provide some, as I said, some context by reflecting on our community support of past referendums. In 2015, we sought our first referendum and our community overwhelmingly supported that effort. Again, in 2019, our community demonstrated its continued trust and investment in our schools by supporting an additional referendum. At the end of 2022, we chose not to renew the first referendum because the district was in a stable financial position, and we made a commitment that we would not ask our community for more than what was necessary. As you know, our current referendum is set to expire in 2027. This evening, we are seeking the board's approval to obtain additional information from the county auditor so that you have the data and projections necessary to make informed decisions regarding any future referendum considerations. And at this time, Dr. Samuels will present the specifics of the resolution for the board's consideration.
Thank you, Dr. Suggs and Mr. President. Members of the board, included in your packet for this evening, you will find the resolution authorizing administration regarding auditor certification. As Dr. Suggs mentioned, it is important to review what this resolution is and what it is not. So to begin, this is not a vote to place a referendum on the ballot. This is a procedural authorization that allows us and our legal counsel to gather information with the auditor for the following purposes. Number one, to determine the impact on taxpayers in the MSD Wayne Township boundaries. Number two, to understand the technical requirements mandated by the state of Indiana. And number three, to gather information and data necessary to make an informed decision on behalf of our school community. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have on this resolution and respectfully request approval of the resolution authorizing administration regarding auditor certification.
I recommend adoption of the resolution authorizing administration regarding the auditor certification.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Dr. Samuel. The resolution authorizing administration regarding auditor certification is approved.
You.
And moving on to the resolution to approve sale of real property.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the board, also included in your documents for this evening's meeting, you can find the resolution to approve sale of real property. This is an amendment to the original document granting me the ability to transfer ownership of our old transportation facility at 4201 West Morris Street. As we discussed, when board action was taken earlier in this process, we have met all legal requirements throughout the process and bring this item before you tonight to ensure the resolution outlines the exact entity that MSD Wayne will be transferring ownership to. In this resolution, you can see that the property will be transferred to 4201 West Morris LLC, an affiliate of Stens Construction Corporation, who submitted the winning bid. The property will still transfer to the company who won the bid, and all statutory steps we followed through the process continue to be valid. This is really a procedural item that will ensure a smooth closing operation. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have and humbly ask for approval for the resolution to approve sale of real property.
I move for approval of the resolution to approve sale of real property. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Dr. Samuel. The resolution to approve sale of real property is approved. Moving on to board policies, second readings, Mr. Fessler.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. First policy for second reading tonight is school board policy D250, controlled substances and alcohol testing for CDL license holders and safety sensitive conditions. As a reminder, we moved existing administrative guidelines back into policy under the advice of our council, who based that on recent state police audits of other school corporations. This policy will include bus drivers, bus mechanics, transportation administrators, school police, maintenance positions, grounds workers, some child nutrition employees, some transition center employees. I can address any questions you may have and respectfully ask for approval of revised policy D250.
I move for approval of school board policy D250.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Mr. Fessler. Board policy D250 is approved.
Thank you, Mr. President, and members of the board. You expected to hear a second reading tonight of school board policy F225, purchasing procedures and capital assets. However, since our first reading, our legal counsel provided legislative updates to this policy that changed, that added a paragraph. So therefore, I will bring revised F225 back to our first reading at a future meeting. And since F225 incorporates current school board policy F200, bidding and quoting requirements, it will not be revised tonight. I will not be asking for removal of F200 at this time. So as with the last policy, Sorry. I'll have an answer any questions you may have about this policy.
No official action needed, just tabling that for a later date.
Yes, sir.
Any comment or discussion, board? Thank you, Mr. Fessler. We'll move on to the 2026 bonds. Dr. Samuel.
Thank you again, Mr. President. Members of the board, it is my pleasure to bring before you this evening paperwork for the approval of 2026 lease financing. The 2026 lease financing is part of the $90 million that the board authorized in the summer of 2023. These dollars will cover expenses in our operations department, transportation department, and other projects around the district, many of which you've approved over the last few board meetings. The issuance is part of our larger strategy to continue balancing our debt rate and dollars generated in our operations fund. These are the funds, again, for many of the projects around the district that we've recently approved. I would also note a few other items. This sale will have two components totaling approximately $21 million. And as noted above, as part of our work to reduce our debt rate in the amount that we are borrowing annually in order to maintain the over 2 million square feet of facilities in our district. I would also note that our debt rate decreased from $1 in 2025 to 85 cents in 2026. Additionally, it's always important to note that these dollars must be spent on capital items to maintain our facilities and cannot be spent on salaries or ongoing expenses. As you know, from previous bonds, the approval has multiple sections. Tonight, there are two items that will need board action. I'll provide a quick rundown of each of the items for your approval and would begin with Exhibit A. That is the resolution approving the building corporation. As you may recall, lease financing in Indiana by state statute has to work through what is called the building corporation. So this resolution has 7 sections. Section 1 reapproves the building corporation into existence. Section 2 notes and reapproves the bylaws and articles of incorporation of that building corporation. Section 3 indicates that leasing school facilities to the building corporation is a proper public purpose. Section 4 names the issuance, as you can see in your materials, that is the Series 2026 bonds. Section 5 agrees that once paid off, the district will accept the title of the school facilities back from the building corporation. Section 6 approves the directors of the building corporation. And finally, Section 7 says that the building corporation may issue, sell, and deliver the 2026 bonds. I welcome any questions that you have and respectfully ask for approval of the resolution approving the building corporation Exhibit A.
Make a motion to approve the building corporation Exhibit A.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Dr. Samuel. Exhibit A is approved.
Thank you, Mr. President and members of the board. The next item is Exhibit B, resolution approving the 17th supplement, the master continuing disclosure undertaking. There's always one of the, I think, slightly comical pieces of legalese that we bring to you as we issue new debt. As it says, this is the 17th update to what was the master continuing disclosure undertaking. It notes various things, but I think chief among them, that we will conduct our annual GAAP report, generally accepted accounting practices, as our audit with Baker Tilly. So we are just slightly below 15,000 students, but we'll continue that practice due to the advantages it provides and obviously stipulation here in this document. It also adds that the latest bond issuance, it adds the latest bond issuance in Gateway, the Indiana system, and EMMA, the electronic municipal market access for investors to view. In section 3 notes that this is a supplement to the original authorization issuance. If you look to below the actual resolution, you will see an outline of all of our current debt, just as you would see in Gateway, with the exception of these 2026 bonds, which have not been sold yet. I welcome any questions that you have and respectfully ask for approval of the 17th supplement, the master continuing disclosure undertaking, exhibit B.
I move for approval of exhibit B.
We have a motion and a second. Any comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Dr. Samuel. Exhibit B is approved.
Thank you.
Moving on to the guaranteed energy savings recommendation, Dr. Samuel.
Thank you again, Mr. President. And then I'd like to welcome up Chris Boyles from Stratalign. Last week you got to meet Bob McKinney, or sorry, probably not meet for most of you. You got to hear from Bob McKinney. Bob's daughter is competing in the city track meet this evening, and so we are in the capable hands of Chris, who's also very familiar with our energy savings work in MSD Wayne Township as a part of Stratalign, working directly with Mr. McKinney. This, similar to last week, if I can get it to present here, working on that maybe. Will be a little bit of a dual effort. And, but for now, I'm gonna pass it over to Chris to talk through where we are at. Let's see if I can get, there we go, presentation mode has arrived. So Chris, you can take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Samuel. Thank you, board. Are you seeing the same thing? Okay. Chris Boyles, Director of Energy Services at Stratalign.
And not a parent of one of our.
And although I do have a 13-year-old son, and I would be one heck of a proud parent if he was standing up here tonight. So those kids were pretty great. Yeah, so tonight we're gonna briefly cover some of these things. So this is a cost benefit analysis of the work that's been done so far and all of the phases, and then that's been identified in Wayne's Energy Master Plan. And then we'll move on to an RFP overview of the recommendation for the next phase of this Energy Master Plan, and then Strataline's recommendation of that RFP. How small is that? Yeah, you guys might turn around and see some of those numbers. And so I'm gonna briefly just point out, highlight a few things here. Is this a cursor one? Yeah, great. So what this is the 6 phases that have been done so far as part of this energy master plan. What's important to note here is the total cost of all those phases is $50 million. The scheduled savings for this that we have estimated is just shy of 100 million. And so it'll be twice as much. But up here, you'll see energy savings to date. And of course, there isn't one here yet for this one. It's less than 1 year of data, so we don't have the information in here yet. But phase 1, Ben Davis High School, the solar generators that was put out there, that's about, I think that was in the fall of 2018, somewhere right around there. So we're looking at about 7.5 years of data. Yeah, it is 5.3 million to date. And so actually, if we were to pull today's numbers, it'd probably be right at cost. And then the operational savings, and then the incentives are what came with the IRA. So that was the additional tax incentives that we got with the IRA. I think that was unexpected. And when starting phase 1, so that was an additional 2 million. And then total up the total benefits here. This column here, this percentage of modeled savings, what's important about this is when we go through these feasibilities, we do these energy master plans, and we put these projects together, we give you a projected savings of what these projects will save you. This shows that it has outpaced those savings. There's a couple contributing factors in that. I'm not going to get into the weeds, but the major one being utility cost inflation. And so it's outpaced it just slightly, and not enough data on phase 5 and phase 6. And then this trailing 12 months, what this is over the last 12 months, so over the last year, what these different phases have saved, and then total to just shy of 2.3 million.
Because if I could, I think that, that trailing 12 months is obviously, when we think about our operations fund and the stress that is on that due to circuit breaker and some other factors, another way to think about that $2.3 million is money that can go right back into our classrooms. That is money that we didn't spend on electricity, that we are now able to reinvest. So, when it's dialed into a trailing 12-month figure where we know exactly what over the last year, that impact is, I think it's a little bit easier to digest and think about how that benefits our students today. Of course, the other data, holistically on the savings, I think paints a really nice picture regarding the investment and the payoff. And those percentages and the modeled savings are obviously a testament to that as well. I would also just clarify on that calculation, part of the guaranteed energy savings statute is tying back to the base year. So the year before this work occurred, and then we're extrapolating out what was this year's usage and the cost of energy this year versus that year's usage and the cost of energy that year. And so, again, I think the results are really encouraging. Of course, as Chris mentioned, the BDU chiller, I think we finally got it commissioned here. Maybe we're about to launch that and flip the switch officially there. So, lots of great things occurring. I would pause here if there are questions.
What's the difference with scheduled savings and just our actual total benefit today? What do you mean by scheduled savings? Fairly simple.
So scheduled savings would have been at the beginning of the energy master plan, what we projected the savings would be over the 20 years.
Okay.
And the vendor then is contractually obligated to those savings based on the guaranteed energy savings statute.
Thank you.
Any other question?
Chris, are each of these phases modeled for a similar ROI or a break point?
They vary, they do. Each one of them do vary. So when going over these plans with the district, obviously there's a lot of contributing factors on what we identified to go into a phase, whether it's aging infrastructure, if it's ROI, if it's a specific savings or relief to operational fund that you're trying to hit. It's kind of a whole menu that we put together and then pick that apart based on what makes most economical sense and what needs to be done and what's just part of that plan.
Thank you.
What does ROI mean?
Return on investments.
Thank you.
And a good example here would be this phase one has a return on investment of now we can say 7.5 years, 8 years, because the perp is on the paper that it did say that based on the benchmark year.
Essentially, how long will it take for it to save money to pay for the cost of the
Oh,
installation?
yeah. So 7 years was the estimated.
And it's everything from kind of today on, that project is over that initial threshold and really that's right back to what we do on a daily basis.
That 902 for this trailing 12 months, that's the additional money every year that will then go back into the district after it's now been paid for.
That really helps answer the question that I asked last time. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. What's that? Yeah, I'll take this one. So this is just a graph representation of what's going on at Ben Davis High School. I won't get too into the weeds on this, but I'm happy to answer any questions. There's two different graphs here. One is your demand measured in KW and the other one's your build amount measured in KWH. What's important to get out of this is that once this project went online, every year it reduced. And so over from base year in 2017 to now, you can see that it continued to go down, and then that's represented in that table down there below. Demand is, so there's multiple ways to be charged as a district or as a facility, depending on your utility rate tariff. What tends to happen with when putting solar on the grid is you do offset the chart on the right, the kilowatt hours, but not necessarily the demand. But so the coupling of the solar and the generators kind of fixed both of those problems and reduced it over time so that now it's next to nothing. Down to 5 million, I'm sorry, 5 million kWh in 2025 is what it was measured. A 50% reduction.
If you could just talk a little bit how that demand, the generators impact the demand and graphical.
Yeah, so the way demand works is the utility company measures interval data, and so they want to know how much power you're pulling at an instantaneous time. And that's how they can manage their grid, so you get penalized for pulling a lot of power at one time. And so if there's you got major mechanical equipment kicking on at one time, if there's just a high load, people coming in and turning all the lights on, for example, that is when you hit that peak demand. And so by putting these generators in, we're able to time them, control them so that they keep continuing to shave that demand and reduce that ratchet over time. This is part of the reason why it kind of goes down. You can only reduce the ratchet so much every year by utility standards or utilities tariff allowance. And so it kind of steps down over years, and that's what those generators are doing. That kind of, that's on it.
Have we looked into a cost benefit analysis of our thermal usage for natural gas to run the generators? And then also, could you explain to the board a little bit about the size of the solar array and its design function and its intended output being used in unison with the generator?
Yeah, if it's appropriate, and if the board doesn't mind, Kurt Schneider here's with Verigy, he was part of the development of that project. And has a little bit more detail on what actually happened on that project. If that's appropriate, Kurt.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. You were here last time, I was listening. So the gas generator uses about 27% usage we found there a year. And one of the most important thing is therm cost at the district is 1/7 the cost of electricity, which is a major piece. So really, one of the most important things and one of the benefits that Brandon was part of over, Jesus, how many years, 8, 9 years ago?
Been a while.
Yeah, right. When you all actually, Dr. Butts and Dennis Hackett and everybody was involved, was the most important thing is you use the sun, when we have the sun, so example, let's just say it's 3,000 and basically the solar array can produce, let's say 2,300, okay? But the sun's not all on all the time, it's not always efficient. So basically it's a balance, very truthfully, and when the sun's there, it uses the sun versus the natural gas generator. So the natural gas generators only work about a quarter of the time, or as we say, 25% during the period of time. So it's a balance and it's measured. So when the sun's there, an example, in the wintertime, we don't use the generator very much at all. And by the way, your therm cost that you just negotiated is actually about 35 cents in the summertime when you have your highest usage for gas, because the summertime is when you use air conditioning. And wintertime is actually 43 or 44. So the benefit is in the wintertime, we're actually, you believe it or not, using the sun and modulating. So as you saw in the payback, the most important thing is after 6, 7 years, it's actually paid for itself. And that's really the guarantee, is it's a zero basically risk to the actual board long term. But what's happened, your piece, is the cost of energy's gone from $11.20 full-time me to $28.30, which is a 154% increase. That is a killer. So if you didn't do that project, with congratulations to the board administration for taking this idea and going off with it, your cost would have been, well, it would have been, think of this, 33,000 for the year times $28, it's close to almost $1 million versus the cost now that's probably again 15,000, about 400,000. So I hope that answers kind of your question.
I could quickly to summarize too, the Verigy serving as the guaranteed energy savings contractor during that, it is part of their job to continue to monitor and verify those savings, and that everything that was put in is doing what it does contractually by state statute. They have to do that. And so that's part of their involvement, and we stick with that. We benchmark a lot of these things, and this is how we're able to pull this data
in. Kurt, I don't want to pry here, but really more pointedly, my question was, what's the megawatt or kilowatt output of the solar array designed to be? And the reason I ask, quite frankly, we're catching a little bit of heat from as the weather gets nice, people explore our properties more. We're starting to catch a little bit of heat. People wanting to know why those generators are running when it's bright and sunny outside.
Okay, the answer to the question is the usage in the building is increasing, because that makes energy being used, okay? So again, we don't control the actual building load, so the more usage you have in the building, it's set at 1,000, okay? That's what, it was 3,600 when we started. So right now, the generators are basically leveled at 1,000. So if anytime the building, okay, gets over 1,000 and the solar is not producing 1,000 kW, okay, then you're gonna run the generator. So again, this has to do with building usage as well.
And it's also that gate between KWH and KW. And so the solar is producing electricity at KWH and offsetting your KWH, they're monitoring what that instantaneous power is as well. And if they see that need for that generator to be running to continue to lower that KW, it's just as impactful financially.
Understood.
I will say too, one of the things that we have seen in the data over the last 2 years is we ripped off the front of that building. And so the overall efficiency of that space definitely was, it was behaving a little bit differently than it was prior to that. Now that we're all buttoned up, we can kind of get back on a little different. Of course, there's more space, but it's now buttoned up and sealed up, and it wasn't for a brief stretch also.
Thank you all.
Yeah. Absolutely. So this is just quickly summarizes and highlights what happened in these phases and the year that it did happen. It was also listed on a previous slide, but if anybody had any questions on the previous phases, I'll move on. So the next step of this is to talk about what that next phase looks like as part of this energy master plan. And so the need that we've identified, Stratalign working with the district and working with the facilities team and being in all these schools, is that there is a lot of aging mechanical infrastructure, done a phenomenal job to date, keeping up with that. This is going to be a never ending thing. It's just, as soon as you get something replaced, maybe in another building, it's time to replace that. So, and then also energy related capital improvements that we can help identify to continue to fix this. The utility costs are never going to stop going up, and so maintaining that it's very important. So we went through and developed this RFP, working closely with the district and your guys' attorney, and to identify these needs through the facilities conditions assessment. And then our desire is to continue to proactively maintain all of these assets with that mindset of continuing to lower utility costs. So what this chart shows right here is it's called do nothing, cost of doing nothing chart. And so where you're at right now is your utility cost is that blue line, and this is using data directly from not every utility gives them up, but AES did give up their commercial utility cost forecasting. And so we do have a really good idea of what it's going to do over the next 10 years. So this is what you're using, and then it's increased over the next 10 years. Or over the next decade. And then so the year one savings, this is doing these ECM investments. And this is just a base case. So as you had mentioned, which ones do you go for the quick ROI, or do you go for the largest energy user, or whatever aging mechanical just needs to be done right away? This is just kind of taking an average of all of those in a base case and benchmarking it. This is what we would estimate the savings to be. And over 10 years, that totals to 16 million. Questions on this slide here? So the part of this energy master plan that's put together for this next phase is chillers, and these are the schools that are identified that will be in need for new chillers. The first two, Landers and Chapman Line, are bolded because those are the oldest, and those are reaching the end of their useful life. Then there's retro commissioning, alternative energy, infrastructure improvements, and preventative maintenance, all district wide. And so taking a holistic approach at what's needed across the district to identify what is best to move forward with. And then this is a picture of some microturbines, at Ben Franklin Middle School. They'll be evaluated as part of this next phase, if they make sense at a school. I'm not gonna get into weeds with microturbines, but they use gas to spin a turbine, create electricity. And if there's use for the, excess heat as a byproduct, it becomes a really good capital investment for energy savings.
Obviously, what ends up happening here then is it's this balance of what do we have in bond capacity to afford some of these projects over the next time horizon? And knowing that those chillers are obviously priority number one. So just working our way backwards through that then with the recommendations. in The RFP.
And I skipped ahead, so sorry, if anybody had any questions on the previous slide, I'm happy to go back once I figure out how to. But so then we conclude with our recommendation, and our recommendation is to select Verigy as the guaranteed energy. The guaranteed energy savings contractor, because they do check every box that you have to go through as we put these things together, and so. Just gonna close with that a little bit,
Yeah, I would also note, in this instance, Verigy was our only respondent for the guaranteed energy savings plan that we are considering today. So that was I think what Chris said is true, that they put a very strong proposal forward. But it's also true and just as compelling that they were the only option we had to consider as well. With that, I would offer any additional questions for Chris, and then I'll sit back down and we will kind of reconvene, and I will bring a formal recommendation to the board for consideration.
Thank you, board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, like everyone's. We'll wing it. But again, thank you, members of the board, for your thoughtful questions and in consideration, just kind of review of the energy savings work that we've done here in Wayne. With that, it is my pleasure to bring before you the recommendation this evening that we proceed with Verigy as our selection for the guaranteed energy savings plan in front of us this evening.
I move for approval of Verigy as our GESC.
Second. Have a motion and a second. Any comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the recommendation for Verigy as our guaranteed energy savings contractor is approved. Thank you, Dr. Samuel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to school board dates revision.
Board, as you know, you vote on the regular board meeting schedule a year ahead of time. And we have found that a conference that we attend annually, the ISBA IAPSS conference, falls on October 5th, though I will say this has not been, and I mean, this is a problem that we've talked about in the past. And that date, we have a board meeting that evening. It is a pretty long day through the conference. And our board meeting is scheduled after that. So we have two options. We can continue and leave that board date as is. It is the only board meeting in the month of October because of our 2-week fall break that falls during that time. Or number two, we can move the October 5th date to October 12th. That is the first week of our fall break. But that is also another option. What is the pleasure of the board?
I don't know that I can be here for the 12th. I'm running the Chicago Marathon the day before on the 11th, and I'm not sure that I will be back in town and that. Wait, I mean, I can definitely try to make it.
You can zoom in too, I think.
I guess I'd probably like to.
I believe that may be my fall break, if so, I will not be available.
Is that
On the
showing
12th?
week or just 12?
No, that's just a Thursday, yeah.
It's a long day. We've done it before though.
You know, we've done it before, and it's a long day, but.
Sounds like, Mr. President, there's a preponderance of the day the same.
So I don't lose track of voice votes, let's do a show of hands to keep it on the fifth. Okay. All in favor of keeping the meeting on October fifth, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It is.
Might go 2 marathons that week.
That one on the fifth and the 11th, that's correct.
That's right.
Moving on to 2027 board meetings and working sessions.
Yes, and so it is that time of year where we take a look at board meetings, including regular board and working sessions for the 2027 year. And so these dates reflect approximately the same time that we have them annually. I do see that in October, it looks a little later, and I'll take a look to see if our fall break falls later. It's a possibility. Mr. Fessler, do you know that by heart?
No, real quick.
It's the first week of fall break, October 11th.
October 11th is the first week of fall break. We do not know when the conference is gonna occur. You'll find it out till later.
We can adjust.
We can adjust, we absolutely can. And so tonight, what I would ask is for approval of both regular board meetings and working sessions as presented.
I recommend approval of our board meeting.
Have a motion and a second. Any comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The 2027 board meetings and working sessions are approved.
You.
Thank you. Dr. Suggs, do you have any board information?
Do have a few things. May is a busy time for us. We have an enrollment event that is coming up the week of May 18th. Dr. Harvey and his team have put that together. We are marketing that as a time for kindergarten parents to come and bring their kiddos and get registered. But the fact of the matter is, it is open for any registrations for the 26-27 school year. Enrollment will end on June 4th of this school year, which is the last day of our school year this year. So if we encourage families to come, we'll be at Grand Hall. Those hours, Dr. Hartley?
7 a.m. to 6.
Yeah, 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Hoping to catch parents before work, after work, and then in between. Okay. Also, I'd like the board to make note that as a new provision in our teachers' agreement, it says that if there is a snow day available that we have not yet used, then the day before Memorial Day would be used as a snow day. So that did happen. And some of you are probably thinking, how? When we know kids were out 3 days.
Are we sure we're not gonna get any more snow?
Hope not. Yeah, hope not. And so we applied for waiver days that were approved, and they approved 2. So that put 2 days back on our books. And so May 22nd is a no school day for students and designated staff. And I say designated staff, which includes teachers and those in the schoolhouse usually, because 12-month staff on a snow day are not on. So those staff are welcome to use a vacation day if they want to take that day off. But school will be closed on May 22nd. We have shared that through Parent Square with parents, and we'll do that again. Canvas. So that's really been a big topic on national news. It's important to note that we use Canvas as our platform for our secondary schools and for our virtual school. Very glad to note that our IT department was very quick in responding and making sure that our data had not been tampered with. They've been monitoring it 24/7. We took some precautionary measures, including having all staff reset their passwords, enforcing that. If they don't reset it, it's gonna shut down. So we wanna make sure people are protected. We're watching the systems that Canvas feeds into, like Skyward as an example, and not doing automatic uploads. But we will do those as students move through the finals. We need to get grades in. We did get some good news tonight. The investigation is still going on. Canvas executives feel like they have come to a resolution, but they will give more instruction here in the very near future. Dr. Harvey, would you like to share anything else?
No, at this point, they have indicated that they've settled. And so how much for us to connect, so, but we'll wait until we are comfortable with the decision before we can bring it up online.
Absolutely. And then, we will have Dr. Samuel and I produced an SCA 1 update video that we promised to both staff and to community to share how we have generated savings over an 18-month period leading into the 26-27 school year. For example, we talk about the total of 108 staff positions that we've reduced over that time. And so I think it's very, very important for our staff and our community to be aware of those measures we're taking in terms of cost saving measures. So that video will go out on Friday, and we'll make sure it is available on our website for our retirement celebration is May 26th. That's right after the holiday. Lots of celebrations occurring across the district. Mr. Fessler, how many retirements?
43 total, 20 certified and 23 classified.
We typically have 20-25 retirements. So that is a really large class of retirements. So I'm looking forward to that retirement celebration for them. And then finally tonight, May is a busy month for birthdays. Ms. Janine Templeman, the 14th of this month, Dr. Tony Harvey on the 19th, and our very own Mr. Brandon Bowman, President, on the 26th. And so, as is our tradition, we're gonna sing happy birthday, and if you want, when we get to the name part, we can say friends. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friend. Happy birthday to you. Congratulations. Yay. Right, and that will be all, Mr. President.
Thank you. Board, I have a card addressed to us. Says, I just wanted to take a moment to thank each of you for the support in naming me the next principal at Chapelwood. I'm so excited to start this next chapter. Thank you and all of the best to each of you, Angela Brown. Nice note from Angela Brown regarding her selection as the next principal. Any additional board information or comment? We have a motion to adjourn. I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And we are adjourned.